And we're going to make some homemade pasta and a couple of different sauces to go in the pasta. I'm Rachel Solano. I've been the manager here. I teach some of the classes as well. And I welcome lots of questions if you have them. I'll try to answer them. If I don't have the answer, we'll find it for you. But feel free to volunteer if you want to help in a part of the class that you need to a little more practice on, perhaps, or you want to get involved. Really want it to be informal, so just come on in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do in the menu, and then we'll all come into the kitchen and make, we'll each make about a ½ pound of pasta. And the fun part is kneading the dough for about 10 minutes. It's a good workout. Does anybody have any questions before we start? I don't want anyone to be intimidated by what we're doing today. This is a pretty easy thing to do, I promise. It's a little time consuming, but the ingredients are pretty simple, and I'll show you a few techniques I've learned over the course of a few of these classes. So we'll just get started. And I'll start, I'll go over each step with everybody too, but we can kind of start passing this around. Nice little heaping cup of flour, and we're just going to pour a little amount. Excuse me. Okay? Okay. In the middle of that, and we don't want the eggs to escape, so just work on making a little well in the middle of your dough, of your flour. Okay. All right, ladies. Pass this. You're each going to take. We're gonna put 2 eggs in the middle, so you want to make your well a little bit bigger, probably. Everybody's got salt. A pinch of salt on top. I'm gonna crack them right in the middle, okay?
For those of us who can't do it one-handed.
2 eggs right in the middle. All-purpose flour, and a lot of times you'll see pasta made with semolina flour, which is a little coarser, and so you can experiment with that. Stiff dough. So once you get your dough into a ball, what I do is I'll kind of fold it over and push it with my heel, and I switch hands to keep one arm from getting tired. If you need to add a little more flour or oil, if it's too sticky, you're free to do that. Okay. That, it feels like that. We'll put it on here.
Kind of springy like that?
Mm-hmm. It's no rush. You all take your time. Here's just kind of stiff. A little more oil.
So you can use it just
instead of a clove of garlic or so, I use like a teaspoon of it or so in place of a clove, probably. It's just a little bit sweeter. It doesn't have that sharp, spicy garlic flavor, so it does nice and nice. And if you just add it to some soft butter, spread it on your garlic, garlic toast, it's fabulous.
Ooh, yeah.
Great. So let that melt down. Grab my recipes.
We'll share.
Absolutely.
Oh, great.
So there's 4 cups in here. We'll do almost the whole container. And we're going to let that just kind of cook for a little while. Put flour all over here. Just to keep the dough from sticking, okay? Flour's our friend today. And what I do first is we're going to have to put this dough through this roller, and it starts at about, I don't know, that's about a 1/4 inch or so. So we need to get our dough just spread out a little bit on each end so it'll start to feed through. So with a rolling pin, you get to about that point. Okay. Handle here. This handle obviously will come out very easily. So I like to stand here and kind of hold it with often we'll probably drop it a few times today. This little dial over here moves these rollers in and out. So we're going to start with the largest or the widest setting. Okay. So we'll start here. What we're wanting to do is to get the dough thin enough so that we can feed it through the spaghetti side, okay, or fettuccine. what I do is I'll roll it through the first one and I'll fold it over. And I'll roll it through again.
Oh,
And
cool.
this just kind of
Cool.
gets it to a good shape and
Gets it nice and blended.
yes. And then we'll move it once and we'll roll it through again. And you guys can work in teams to do this. I mean, not teams, but in groups. Roll
We're
it.
gonna compete. We're gonna have
That's
the
right.
pasta rolling competition.
And when I get to this point, I usually cut the dough in half again so that's a little easier to work with. And
That's a
we'll move
good
it one more
tip.
time. So I moved it one more time. I'm going to put this one through. And then I'll put this one through the same setting.
See, I
Just
was-
have a big granite countertop. Lots
Which
of
I
space.
don't have. That's what I need.
So you're going to take a really small amount of the filling. Okay. Like a teaspoon maybe. And we'll take a little egg wash along the edge of each.
Well, they're going into the doctor's lounges.
Oh,
And then you'll fold it over.
did you say that's just egg and water?
Yes,
or,
ma'am. Yeah, just egg and water. And then you fold it over and just kind of push it. That glue, that egg will just help it stick together. So it's kind of like a half moon shape. And then I put a little bit of egg wash on the edge there. And you'll twist it around and squeeze it together. And you got a little tortilla.
How
cute.
That. Oh, yeah, I'd like to make one of these things.
That's it. It's good.
That's usually
Hopefully it'll last when you kind of
you do it like 5:30 in the morning before the heat evaporation.
There's ways to make this lighter in calories and fat. It's not nearly as good, but there are ways
Yeah.
to do it. Okay, so, and you can work in teams on this too. Put your handle in the fettuccine cutter and just kind of feed that through and it'll come out down here.
Cute.
Somebody can kind of guide it, make sure we don't lose it, it falls on the floor easily.
Monty!
Okay. Yeah, Monty! Okay, and then we'll toss it in the cornmeal over here just to keep it from sticking. Okay, just a little bit. Everything. So I'm just going to stir it a little bit. It's pretty hearty. We'll fold up some string. And with the tortellinis, they'll come to the top and float when they're cooked.
Al dente. No.
It's hard to cook fresh pasta al dente, but we don't. Yeah, I'm trying not to overcook it, so it just does. So it's got a little texture still, but
So you just go by timing.
yeah, I go by feel and look. It doesn't take long.
Really?
You don't want to cook your garlic too long; it can burn quickly. So
Like what kind of cocktails?
keep an eye on it.
Well, when we did it before, we used, I think it was cranberry and a little
We'll just
Cointreau.
toss these in. You can cut these if you want, but they'll kind of burst as they cook, which I like the way that
It was
looks.
vodka. We put vodka in it and then
These
some
two, these are
basil,
kind of big.
crushed the basil.
You muddled it?
Like muddled it?
Yeah, muddled it. Oh, it was delicious.
Did you strain it then out to get the?
You did. I did. I strained it.
Well, maybe. So we'll let those cook over a medium to high heat. Just keep an eye on it. Move it around every once in a while. We don't want the garlic to burn.
Oh, so
But those are gonna burst a little bit.
Oh, okay. We don't cut them in that.
I didn't know. They'll burst a little bit. You can do that, but I don't want to let too much juice out into it yet. But it's a pretty presentation. Cue it.
Great idea.
And they have a lot. They may have.
She cooks like you taste as you go.
I don't think it needs salt, but oh, we're gonna salt this water.
Just with this.
Yeah, you want to dump about 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons or so in there. There's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no.
And see, it'll come to the top when it's just about ready. So, and this will take even less time than the fettuccine. Almost as soon as I get it in there. I know, it's really great. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh, there it is.
These.
Amazing how much flavor just that simple. Tomato.